Hi all, welcome to day 15 of our 100 days of DevOps journey. Today it is again one more topic about Docker itself. So we'll be discussing Docker volumes today. Docker volumes, or we can say persistent volumes. Okay, persistent volumes. So what are persistent volumes? So let's discuss on that. So persistent volumes are basically like in a container. Okay, there are three types of volumes in container. Suppose this is a container. Okay, this is my Docker container. Here we have some kind of data in it. Okay, suppose we have created one of the file. Okay, so where would that file be stored? So that file would be stored inside a volume. Okay, and what are the different kind of volumes in there? Suppose, what's this? I'll just say file. Yeah, so we have then there is this named volume. Okay, so what does difference between bind and named volume? They both are same in one respect, that like in here. Okay, they are also connected. They are also connected in that, but there is one major difference in this one. The difference here is this folder. Here the folder is created previously. In bind volume, the folder is created previously and we have mounted it on this particular directory. Okay, but in named volume we create a volume, a Docker volume separately. Okay, named, I just delete this one. So in this name volume we create a volume separately. Okay, so that's how it is different. That's how it basically changes. So there is one particular directory in Docker in which this particular folder is created. Okay, this particular mount point is created. So let's discuss all of this in today's video. So let's get started. So yeah, I got connected to this server. Actually, there is one interesting thing that we can do over here. Okay, uh, every time we have to add password. Okay? Every time we have to we have to add a password in this. So there is a mechanism with the with help of which we can directly log into the SSH server. So what is that mechanism? I'll just show you in a bit. So it is called SSH key. Okay, key-based authentication. So it is there are two keys, public key and private key are generated. So I'll just show you one thing. SSH will understand about it in security. There are like RSA encryption and other. So this command you might get handy. So SSH key gen hyphen T. T would be RSA. T means type. Hyphen B, the more the bit size, the stronger the encryption, but sometimes it takes time to that. So I'll be using like 1024, okay, 1024 bits of encryption. Then hyphen F, file would be dot ssh dot id rsa. Okay, this is the default file in my system. Okay, I think just a moment, what I can do here is mm-hmm, we need to, so one time you need to encrypt it. Okay, one time you need to add your password over here. So here I'm storing SSH in my host machine. Okay, SSH keygen. Keygen means generate key. What is the type? There are different types. So DSA, ECDSA, RSA. There are multiple different types. So I'll be selecting RSA, and then hyphen T hyphen B 1024 by bits, and then file would be home/ssh dot id RSA. Okay. By default, this is the name of the file. So we can provide any name like DevOps. Okay, this is for our 100 days of DevOps journey. So keep it short, simple, and you can use it. Then there is it asks for passphrase, some kind of passphrase. So let's just see. Okay, so we have provided type, we have provided bits. Okay, the size of particular file, and there is this passphrase. So you can enter whatever you want. For now, I'm just keeping it empty. Okay, and here my file is created. If you can see, ls.ssh in your Ubuntu server. In my Ubuntu, I'm using a Linux machine. You can run the same command in Windows as well, and Mac also functions the same as our Ubuntu, our Linux machine. So here you can see there are two keys that it has created: id rs devops and .pub. Okay, .pub file we have to move it here. Okay, this .pub file we have to place it over here. And where do we have to place it? I'll just show you that thing. So first, let me just cat.ssh id rsa.pub. So this is the encrypted format. Okay, this is the encrypted format. It is public key. Okay, suppose it is like a lock. Okay, and this one is like a key. So any particular lock has its own key. Okay, so that's how we can create it. So here just go vim then dot ssh. Okay, and here is the authorized key. Right now authorized key is a file in which we have to, and we have to place all these public keys. Okay, so that you can directly enter that. So I have copied and pasted over here, and now what I'll do, I'll just close it, and here it won't take my password anymore. It won't require my password anymore. So it is very convenient, but with convenience with great power comes great responsibilities. So you must keep your SSH key safe. And there is one thing, SSH here I'll just show you ls-al.ssh. So here you can see all the private keys that we have. Okay, this lab key, and there is this GitHub key. So there are multiple keys for different environments. So they have only one owner, which is this Hari user. Okay, only one user. This file, other files like public key can be read by everyone. Okay, so here you can see we can also understand the file structure later on. I'll explain you what is the what is this means and how can we change. If you know, we have used chown command. Oh, chmod command. Okay, so chmod command is used to change modify the file system. Okay, chmod or chmod. We -h. Let's just see. I got confused. Change file mod bits. Okay, And file ownership, yeah, ch own command is for file ownership. Yeah, so ch own was the command. Ch own was the actual command for file and group permission of a. Yeah, so we have seen chmod and ch own command. So we can modify, we can change the ownership and other things. And yeah. Okay. So let's move ahead with our Docker container. So we were discussing about the Docker volume. So right now, what I'll do is just a moment. I'll just create a simple container. Okay, not here, here. Hmm, okay, so I'm creating this particular no volume. Okay, this is the container no volume, and here I'm just creating one test file. Echo. This is a test file, or this is test data. Entering, suppose test file. Okay, ls. Here is the test file. Get test file. So this is the data you can see. Now what I'll do here is name no volume. Okay. If I just delete this particular container, this whole file could be deleted with it. Okay, this file, this data would be deleted. Like exit docker yes hyphen a no volume and docker rm hyphen f no volume. Okay. So this particular file, okay, this particular file is deleted right now. Okay, and there is one more thing. One minute. Let me just show you again this one. So echo this file. Where is cat? Again we have this command. This is over here. So I'm just exiting it. Okay, and then we are restarting the container. Docker start. What was that command? Hyphen h. Hyphen h. Attach interactive. Yeah. AI attach interactive. We have to attach the volume. Then no volume, no container, and ls. So here is text file, and once I delete it, okay, once I delete this data, delete this container, so that file would be completely erased. Okay, this is called what anonymous. What is called it? Anonymous volumes. Okay, these are called anonymous volumes. So anonymous volumes are temporary and assigned automatically. Delete when the container is removed. Okay, so these are this particular the data that we have stored it. Suppose let's just go more practical over here. So I'm creating one volume mkdir dot my web page web. Okay, this is my website. Okay, here touch web index.html, right? Index.html we have created, and in that index.html vim web index.html we are just adding some very simple syntax over here. I html oh, h1 welcome. Okay, this is the file that we have created right now. So I just okay, what we'll be doing here is, let's just say spin up another container. Docker run hyphen dit name my web my web one. Okay, my web one dot hyphen p. What was that? I just I don't want any dangling containers. So 8, let's just say 88080 forward it to 80. Okay, then nginx. So this is my container that we have created. I just quickly start Mozilla. Where is it? Okay, 192.168.100.80.80. So this is the nginx. We can verify it. How do we verify it? We can just check over here. Docker logs -f my web my web one. It is running. Okay, my web one. Oh, sorry, I actually. Okay, so here if we go refresh, here it is. Okay, now let's just create another. What we can do over here is we can just docker cp. What is our file? This web index.html. Okay, in my web container, user share, just a minute. There is one loop. There is this default directory, default path that at which we have to. Yes, user share nginx. Okay, user share nginx html. So this is the directory. Okay, user share nginx html. So I want this index dot page copied over there. Here I have copied it. Now let's just see. Welcome to my website. Okay, this is how also you can mount it. But what if I'll just remove this docker stop here? Since we have used this rm tag, it once the container is stopped, it will automatically be deleted. Okay, it is deleted. So nothing is right now up. So that, then one more, this is for anonymous volume. Now let's just use, it is called bind volume. Okay, this method is called bind volume. And dit, there is -v for volume. How would we share the volume? So in this we have to create we have to provide the whole path. But there is one trick. I'll just show you. First of all, there is one trick. We have already seen this pwd command. Okay, pwd command, and we can always use this command in terms like this: pwd echo pwd. Okay, so it will be the same. Okay, so how would we do that? Colon pwd, and then we have our web. Okay, first of all, wait, web index.html. Yeah. Okay, suppose we have to mount this directory pwd. So first of all, let me just show you the whole path. cd web pwd. So this is the path, index.html. Okay, or just web to colon slash user share nginx html. Okay, we have created this. Let's see if it is running. Docker ps. Okay, it is running. I could have used a better name. Right. Let it be. So this is our container running. Now let's go to where were we? Yeah. So port 80. Okay, this is also a method. So this is called the bind volume. Okay, bind volume mostly is used if we already have some kind of data. Okay, if we already have some kind of data, and we just in Linux there is also this bind mount kind of command. We can bind one directory into another. Okay, so if we make changes in any of the directory, it will be reflected to the another one. Okay, so that's how bind works. So it is very convenient. Okay, it can directly host system paths to container, but it is less secure. Control is greater. uh, what I mean by control here is, like, if I just add vim web index.html, And if I just add over here h2, what would be started. I hope I'm writing the correct. I'm not very good at front end. Okay, so the control over here is like this. Okay, so that's how it get reflected over here. And now why is it less secure? Suppose again I just delete everything over here. You are you are hacked. Okay. So that's how insecure it is. So it is just a prank that I did earlier in my previous organization. So the developer was building, and I just have created this file and added it to the container image. So he was building the container again and again and says in my local system it is working very well, but in container it is getting hacked. So it was very funny to see the expression. But yeah, you can also try it sometimes, but just don't delete the whole code. Okay, a healthy prank is always good to boost your morale. Mm. And sometimes we make changes mistakenly. So uh, this is called bind volumes. Okay, bind volumes are convenient, very much convenient, but they are less secure if you don't manage the access to the volumes. Okay, then there is one more thing which is called named volumes. Okay, so named volume will understand something in a moment. So this is how the volumes are created. So why is the first of all, let's just understand why the mm, like why the concept of for volumes have been created. Okay, so there is a persistent volume. Why do we need persistent volume? Okay, so let's take an example. Imagine you are running a MySQL database or any database inside a Docker container. So since Docker are very much convenient, very much lighter and agile, so most people tends to use a containerized application. So if you stop the container, your whole database, okay, and database is nothing like we can create every time, or we always have uh, there are two types of backup. It is called point in time recovery. Okay, so you do not have the latest or exact backup of any database at the given moment, and databases in high what we can say highly scalable or very like if any web application has very high traffic. Okay, so database is continuously getting updated. So point in time recovery, and there are certain backup strategies in database to make it fault tolerant. But suppose if you are using a database which is installed over a containerized environment. Okay, and if the containers get crashed, okay, container getting crashed is not very what we can say, it is not very uncommon. Containers are very much volatile. Okay, and when the like we can flood, and there is one command, just a moment. There is one command. Let me hping. Yes, hping. I don't know hping is installed in here. Hping. So there is one command which is called siege. Okay, so I tried it. Siege is not installed. Sudo apt install siege. Siege. Oh, sorry. Siege. Yes, this is the command. So what it will do, I'll just show you one thing. So on the left side of the terminal, we on the left side we have our web server. Okay, web server working, and on the right side we are it is a free terminal. So I'll just clear it, and there is this command siege hyphen c. C means the user count or concurrent users that are currently working. Suppose let's just say 1,000. I'm ready to let's see if 1,000 will break it. And count would be hyphen r repetition. R means repetition. So how many times I have to, like if I send 10, so 10 times it will send 1,000 requests at a time. Okay, one time. Okay, and HTTP it would be 192.168 1.1000 port 80. Let's see. Number of user is kept to increase this limit. Hmm. Error unable. Why so? Oh yeah, port is incorrect. Okay, we have here we are getting, let's see, siege 2000 for now. We can just change it later on, and reputation would be 1088. And let's just see our load. Yeah, load has increased. It handled the load. Oh wow, I didn't expected that. Let's increase the count. What was the file name? CJRC, right? In here. It is quite a huge file. Yes, limit. Vim are verbose false, color on, quiet false, show log file true, logging. Just going through the default config. Limit would, let's just increase the limit to 1 lakh or 1 million. Let's just increase the. In fact, my VM would not be able to handle this much of load. Mm. So it is a very good tool for load testing of your application. You can anytime use it. Siege tool is, but I think it is. Oh, did container gets crashed? Yes, almost. But my memory is still hanging there. So repetitions, keep it full throttle. -D would be time where M is modified. Testing where fatal unable to allocate memory for so simulated browser resource temporarily unavailable. So that's how we can or just reduce 1 0 unable, one more zero might work. Yeah. So my memory is also not, it might not hang in there. uh, Table full, too many open files. Okay, still half of the memory is consumed right now. So there are ways so that we can prevent a container to this is called resource hungry container. And sometimes what happens, a container captures all. Right now we haven't defined any particular cap over the resource, okay, container resource. So right now it is using whole or there is one more command, docker stats. So here you can see memory usage. Here this is the usage, this is the limit. It is using memory beyond its limit. Then there are CPU is currently 0. I think the siege has completed. Yeah, let me just redo it. So CPU, yes, CPU is increasing little bit. I think it is completed now. About core dump must be installed to cancel to work. Okay, so let's carry on. I it is still working. I'm surprised with, oh, not working or working, what, working, working. So yeah, so sometimes if we have kept it, so it might have caused us a trouble. Okay, so this is called we have tested the bind volume. Okay, bind volume, and there is one more thing that is called named volume. Okay, so how does named volume work? We'll just we'll have a demo for that. I'll explain you with a demo. For that I'll just use, let me clear everything. Okay, here we have one command docker volume ls. Okay, right now no volume has been created. Okay, and there is docker info where we can see what are the different kind of plug like right now only local volume. Okay, local driver is available for volume. Okay, so what I'll do here is uh, there is one volume that we can create. This is called mk. My web is fine, but let it. Okay, let's install a WordPress server with a database. Okay, so how would we do that? Let me just first create mkdir. What was that? WordPress data. Okay, so this is my directory for handling WordPress files. Then there is one volume docker volume. We have seen these are the options which are available: docker volume inspect, docker volume create, ls prune, rm. So I think ls we have seen. Create, inspect. Inspect works for all the environment, all the what we can say, all the elements of docker, like container, volume, network, and everything. Prune is like if the volume is not attached to any particular container, so it will be deleted. Or let's just see, docker prune -h or docker volume h. Yeah, removed unused volumes. Okay, unused local volumes will be removed. So this is a particular command, and there is docker volume create -h. So driver, which driver we have to set up, and there is label so that to metadata like the thing we can set up, and then option to set driver specific drivers. Okay, driver specific option. So for now we'll keep it very simple. Docker volume create -d would be local is already default, so we don't have to select. We only have one driver which is local. Local means it will use this server storage. Okay, this particular server storage. Yes, it will use this server storage and create a volume. What would be the name? Like db data. So this is the volume we have created. So docker volume ls. So here our db data with driver local is available. Okay, so what we'll do here is there is one command nginx will be needing first for installing. So let's continue with our example. Wait a minute, let it get. Why is it taking so much time? Yeah. Oh, docker. Let's search for mysql. Okay, and there is, this is mysql. Press docker up. So this is our WordPress site. So how to run some WordPress network. This is the network. I can't tell you how to use this image. Yeah, these are the WordPress host, WordPress user, some of important tags that we need to use. Okay. This is a Docker file, Docker Compose. So we'll discuss what Docker Compose is and why we'll be needing it. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we'll be setting up a database because database is a prerequisite. If you can see over here in these environment variables, here -e means environment variable. So in these we have to provide db name. Okay, db name and db password, db user, db host. So everything we need to provide over here. Okay, so let's see. So first thing is to set up our MySQL server. So how do we set up our MySQL server in a container? So it requires root password. Okay, root password is required, and by default I think default username is root itself. Okay, default username of that particular. And there are some of the other tags also that we need to use. MySQL, keeping it very simple. Name, root password, -d. Character set. There are a lot of things. yeah, root password, MySQL database, MySQL user, MySQL password. So these are some of the tags, some of the environment variables that we need to pass. So let's make it here. Clear this out. Okay. So we can see over here what is the latest tag. Let's just use latest one. So docker run name, I'll keep it like root. Okay, root would be simple, pretty much simple for this. Name, mm, WordPress DB. Name would be WordPress DB, and I'll be running it -dit. It is not required. -d would be sufficient for it, but just in case. So -e, we have -e. What are the different tags which are available? DB server. DB name WP DB -e user and pass WD. Okay, so these are our user password. And one more thing, MySQL works on port, I think 3306. Port. The feature is supported on MySQL port host. .3306. So it is not very recommended to expose any database password on your server, but I'm just exposing it. We'll check what are the alternatives later on, like here MySQL. Okay, I think I have provided everything. It is pulling the container image. Yeah, here you can see DB MySQL. Docker pull WordPress. WordPress is also installed. Now Docker run -dit name would be web, and it will run on port 8080. We'll run it -p 8888 port 80, and now let's pass on the parameters. Okay, what are the parameters? Like logs -f. So MySQL is running very well. Okay, MySQL is running. That is fine. Port 3306 is also exposed. Now clear it. Then there is yeah. Since we haven't fixed any endpoint over here, 3306. Let's see if it will work or not. WP user. DB user would be user. That's what we have defined earlier, right? Yeah, user and pass WD. Pass WD and DB name. What DB name we have provided it over here. Make sure to pass on this -e WPDB, right? Okay, WPDB. And yeah, I think all of it is in correct order. WordPress user password, name, port, and let's see if we can start it or not. This IP of the gateway. Okay, this IP is of the gateway. So since we are running in the MySQL, if you want to check, I think I have MySQL installed. MySQL. MySQL -h. MySQL 192.168. Since we have already exposed it, 1.1000 port 3306. HTML. Let me open another terminal. Hmm. Well, let us create it first. there is one command to test it. Docker run hyphen MySQL. This. So we do not have TED is not required. Network is also not required. Okay. So this will what will happen here is -h wp MySQL, and then you and pass wd. Server not found. Okay, why is it that? CIF config. If this will work or not. If this won't, then there is one more option that we can do. Yeah, it is connected. So yes, this is for the. So we are now able to connect to MySQL. Okay. Then there is WordPress. WordPress we were creating. Docker run hyphen dit name, first of all rm, or yes, rm name wp web hyphen p 8888 80. We have wp host, oh, wp host, which would be this port 3306, and hyphen e wp user db user mean and there is user. Okay, hyphen e equal to pass wd, and then db name would be hyphen e, means db name means where it to wpdb, right? wpdb that we have created. Let me just quick look. wpdb, yes, wp hyphen db. Okay, so I think all is set. We have port, variables, wp web, and WordPress. So let's check it. And docker ps, both of them are running. Let's see if we can able to access it. 192.100 port was 8888 nginx, then this must 28 second port 8888, I think. Oh, now it is loading, sorry. So right now let's just continue. Site title would be test, username would be user. Okay, this is some kind of random password, or maybe yes, I'll just say pass wd. Okay, install WordPress. Okay, so user and pass wd. Password is weak. Say, okay, I just copy it for just for sake if I might forget it. You must provide an email. 1 minute. I don't know if here the red example. User, password chosen, then login. Okay, login. So right now what has happened? We got connected. It's taking some time. Okay, so my web. I don't want my web. Docker stop my web. Docker logs MySQL. Okay, so right now here the server has been connected. This here you can see MySQL community plugin ready. There is some kind of server. So there are a certain data that is available. If I'll just see wp web. Okay, so here you can see. I'll just refresh. So everything is over here. Suppose you have created your file, okay, your data you have created, your you have saved some kind of blog or something on this WordPress, and if it gets crashed, okay, so let me just docker stop wp web wp mysql, or let's just stop wp mysql. What it will say, connection database broken. Okay, sometimes it happen, okay, that is fine, but I'll just restart database. Oh, it has just stopped. Okay, no worries with that. Docker start wp mysql. Okay, it came back, so we have started it. Now let's just delete it. rm-f data, the database got deleted. Okay, the db got deleted. What we can do, we can recreate it, but there is one issue with that. It will take some time. Okay, now it is ready to connect. Again you have to restart. Okay, so the database got lost. Then here is one trick that we can do over here. Suppose before stopping it, first I'll just remove this, or I'll just create one more container. Okay, at 73307. Okay, port number would be 3307, and one thing that I'm doing over here is port would be 3307, and here I'm just adding one volume. Let me just check what was the volume name. Docker volume ls. Okay, so these are some of the anonymous volumes that has been created. Once the container is deleted, it will also get deleted. Okay, we want this data to be in db data. How would we add that? So this is my sql, we are using port 73316. Let it 3316 hyphen v db data. Then what was the location of that one? Where it is. Hmm. This is there was this where live mysql. Yeah, this is the file, and this is the location where the volume need to be mounted. Okay, so where lib mysql. Okay. It is just consider a volume like a pen drive or something, so it is mounted at this location, at this particular location. Okay, so yeah, and the name will just change the name. Persistent volume, pv. Okay, pv, persistent volume. So name has been changed, port has been changed, and here we go. So we have docker ps. So three containers are currently running, which is this one, wp. Okay, and let's just continue on this one. Where did it go? Similarly, we'll create another WordPress instance, WordPress container. Name would be wp web. Oh, we ran into this particular container. Okay, that is fine. wp web. Okay, so we'll just use persistent data pv, and we'll run it on 9090. And what was that? Yeah, the host would be 16. We'll add one more thing over here, which is volume, and volume here would be our another volume that we have created here, wp data. Okay, cd wp data pwd. This is the volume that we'll be mounting in that here. The location would be, I think, where www.html. It uses the same syntax as, yes, where www.html. Okay, this is the volume over there. So I think everything is in place. Let's start. 192 168, and there is 9090. Okay, WordPress is currently installing. Installed. Site title would be persistent volume. Okay, persistent volume. Persistent volume username would be user.pv. Okay, and password would be like, let's just okay, random password @1234. Email would be hari@example.com and install. So docker logs -f wp web pv. So okay, so we are now logged in. So anything we can make, any changes we can make over here and everything, and where the data would be stored here. Okay, so this is the data index.php, this is index file index.php, wp admin page and others. So earlier, if you might have seen in this, we have created a blank directory. Okay, so this is how we can create. Suppose we have created this, and we want another instance of this same container. Okay, this same container, which would be 991 for managing data. Okay, 991. Oh, wp, we have to change the name, pv01. So similarly, you don't have to, let me just open it, 991. Okay, yeah, here you are, 991. Why is it going to 990 again and again? I think there is some kind of redirection is going on behind. Yes, redirection. Okay, it is redirecting to this particular. So yeah, so hello world, it already has a blog name. And now our main use of this particular database. So what it would be, docker rm wp web rm-f. I'm not stopping, I'll just delete it. Rm web pv wp, which one, there's mysql pv. Okay, both of them I'm just deleting. Both of the containers are deleted. Okay, now if we check over here, so nothing would load. Oh, in this it is working. We have 9090, right? 9090. So unable to connect, it is saying. Okay, no worries with that. So let's just say control R, uh, control R. It will reverse search for history of the terminal, and here name wp web pv. Okay, wp web pv, and I'll just use 9090 as our default port. Okay, this container is running now. It will say database is not connected, and once I'll connect wp mysql, this is the wp mysql name wp mysql. Okay, so here one mistake we have made over here. Image, what is happening over here? Yeah, so we have this container which is running on. Let's rerun. I don't know why is it. FTP data as our volume, MySQL. Hyphen P 3316 3306. Okay, now I think the MySQL would take some time. Docker logs hyphen F WP MySQL web, and yeah. Oh, why is it asking to reinstall? Continue. Is it not connected? MySQL web 116. So right now I have re-registered the user. Let me check one more thing over here. So this is the this is the correct path. Okay, let me re let me delete it once. RM F. Okay, so disabled. This is the connection that that it is looking for, and let's just recreate. WordPress would take some time. I think it is connected. Yeah, so now we don't have to worry about it. Okay, we can anytime even if the container is deleted over here, I'll delete it again. Okay, there's MySQL. I have deleted it again. Okay, in fact Docker ps, so it is also not available. WP MySQL PB, the container that we have created. Okay, so what we can do, in fact there is yeah, if we create it again, I think there was at the previous time there was some kind of mistake that might have happened on my end. So that's why the registration was, oh no, I deleted it again. No worries, we can already we can switch back to our data. So yeah, yeah, we are again back online. So that's how convenient to have this persistent volume. And if you are wondering where is the data of this persistent volume is stored, so there is one file. So first of all, Docker volume inspect db. Oh, there are two volumes I have created. That's why, because previously we were using this db. So let me check one thing. Created at this point, and what was the underscore? This. Okay. So it is this is the previous one that we have created. Let me just check. Let me delete it once again and recreate it with this db. So it has created a new db on my behalf. Mm, I think we are able to log in. Yes, we are able to log in. So both of the volumes are currently available. Let's see where the data is currently being stored. So sudo -i re okay, cd where lib docker. Okay, then there is volumes, and here you can see, okay, ls db underscore data. So here is the data. Okay, that's how you can find it. You can trace it back. Okay, this MySQL server key and everything is in this WP DB. Okay, so this is how the persistent volume works. I hope you it would have useful for you. So this is the practical implementation of uh, this persistent volume. Okay, we'll check another, and I'm planning hopefully by this weekend we'll cover almost all the basics of Docker, and we'll move ahead with some kind of project. Okay, we are now, well, containerization is itself a good step ahead in DevOps. So we can now move ahead with some kind of real life implementation of these particular these particular tools and technologies. Okay, so thank you all, thanks for watching, and let's connect tomorrow.